Hello, this is Sabine Matharu, and today we are back with another episode of the Reach for Greatness podcast. And I'm here with Gemma Regalado, who is a website consultant. Thank you very much, Gemma. You've been amazing. We've already done 2 other podcasts, and this is another series today. And I think you're going to talk to us about building a site by you for other people.
I am. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a blast to be on this podcast. It's really fun. So, when you're building your website, I think the biggest mistake that people make is that they build sites for themselves. So when I say building a site that is for other people but is by you, you've got to understand that other people are the ones coming to your website. They'll be the ones buying from you. They'll be the ones viewing your stuff, reading your stuff, digesting the information that you're giving to them. So a lot of people, when they've worked with me in the past, have come to me and they've been like, I need this, and I need this, and I need this on my website, and I want this on my website. And I kind of have to just dial it back just a little bit, because the fact is that while you might want this stuff, is it going to be helpful to your audience? Mm-hmm. That's what you've got to think of. If people are coming to your website and you've just put this in here and you've put that up there and you've put, this all over here somewhere because it's what represents you, you are missing the point of having a website and having a business, because your business and your website are for other people. They are to serve other people. They are not for you. They're not a platform just for you. Obviously, you serve in a particular way, and you need to make sure that you get that across. But you also need to make sure that the people coming to your website and the audience that you want to attract to your website specifically the essence of it right there. So when you are, especially when you're working with somebody else, it's all too easy to say, I want this, and I want this right here, and I want these colours here, and I want that right there. And what you've actually got to understand, first of all, before you even approach website designers at all, when you want to work with somebody else, it doesn't matter if you're working with a web designer or if you're doing it by yourself. You just need to have that understanding that it's other people coming to your website. So how are you best going to serve them? Your website is for them, by you.
So would it be helpful then to be very clear on who your target audience is, and sort of do a profile around what their ages are, potentially male, female, their profession, what are the challenges, and how can you really hone in on their challenges that they might actually feel in that manner, and how you can actually fill that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you need to have a real strong avatar for the person who's coming to your website. And often when people have worked with me in the past and have just said, I want this and I want this and I want this, they haven't really got a strong idea or understanding of who their target audience actually is. So it's partly my job to really try and pull that out of them, because actually otherwise they will end up with a business that does not work, and they will end up with a website that does not work. And obviously that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we're giving the best websites to people, or that you're creating the best website for you, but obviously for so deep into what problems that your target audience are having. Not necessarily that we need to know that their age or their gender, although those are very helpful, but it's more about what they say. What are they saying? When they say, for instance, you're a life coach, so what are people saying to you? What are your clients saying? Like, I just feel so stuck, or are they using those kind of words? You need to make sure that you're using those words in the stuff that you're putting out there on your website. You need to make sure that if they are quite maybe introverted, quite feminine, that things like the colours and the design that you're actually using represent those people. Yeah, they've got to represent you as well. I wouldn't necessarily say it completely ignore who you are, because there's lots of places where, you know, lots of websites I've been to where it would appear that the person putting the information out there is in fact extroverted, but when you meet them, they're not extroverted at all. So there's a complete disconnect between who they are.
So you're saying that it's possible that people actually put up a facade on their website, that they just pretend to be someone that they're not.
Yeah, it's quite rife, I'd say, in online business, because it's easy to pretend that you're somebody else behind a wall of code, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, it's just images and code. It's easy to do that, and then you work with that person, and actually you find out that they're not that person at all. So yeah, it's really key to make sure that you're fusing the two together. You need to make sure that you're doing the website, it's by you, so it has your essence in it, the way that you would work with somebody, but it's speaking to the people that you want to attract. And that is the key to it all.
Wow, that's great. Gemma, just the last sort of golden nugget for anyone that, I mean, I've been very nervous for a long time to actually outsource, and I've actually struggled myself to do my WordPress, because every time, what it is, like, you're trying to be jack of all trades when you're running your own business, and then you know, you learn how to do one thing, you learn how to do the WordPress. I mean, I didn't, just a year ago, I didn't even know what WordPress was, you know. I thought, what is it? But it's just, you know, then you do something on the site, and then maybe 2 weeks after, you have to go in and you have to make some amendments, and you kind of forget where the buttons are and how the forms are going wrong and things. And I made a conscious decision, I'm going to outsource it, and I want to have it done properly. And I was nervous for a long time. And do you have any sort of a good advice for people out there that are sort of struggling in that way, in the way I did?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need to figure out what you want from this. So whether you want a completely brand new design and development, or if you want just somebody to help out with the technical side of things, because those are two very different things. And a lot of people just immediately assume that they need a web designer, and actually they probably could do with just a technical VA, you know, someone like that who would maybe cost, you know, probably in the UK or maybe in the US around about £25 to £30 an hour. Whereas if you went to a web designer, you could be paying a lot more money, you know, for something that's, you know, that isn't necessarily what they're in their zone of genius. So I think you need to be really clear on what you need. If you are looking to get a brand new website and actually just outsource it and have somebody else just do it and then teach you about it, you just need to shop around. I know that sounds like a funny thing for someone like me to say, because obviously I've worked in that industry for a long time, but I think it's really important to have an understanding that there are so many people doing website design and development out there. Get some recommendations, just use your gut instinct and figure out, you know, who's actually designed sites that are, you know, the kind of like the idea in your head, for sure. There's lots of people going, I signed up for this because he's my brother's mate and, you know, he's done this website before. And then you realise that actually that's, honestly, everybody I know who's done that has, when they then come to me, has said, I wish I'd never done it because I wish I'd known. So always be very, very careful and mindful of who you're choosing and make sure that they're doing work that, you know, you'd be pleased to be on their portfolio. I think that's a real key. Talk to them. Actually talk to people. Now, I know there's a lot of web designers and a lot of web developers who don't necessarily, freelancers, anyone in business. We are in business. So if I'm talking to web designers and developers out there, talk to people, please, for the love of God. You need to make sure that you're having a human connection with somebody, because if you don't get on with somebody, how can you actually say, you know, I don't like this, can we change it, can we adjust it somehow? When you are signing up with somebody as well, make sure that what you're doing is you're checking out not just what they're doing, but how you would work together. If someone is not willing to tell you how they would work together, and this is not about the cost, because cost does depend exactly on what your requirements are. Yes, sure, you can have a generic site, but you need to have an understanding of exactly how that works. Make sure you're doing things like signing a contract. That's a very important thing, because if it all goes wrong, you need something that protects both you, and the web developer needs something that also protects them as well, because bad stuff does happen. And I think, just trust your gut instinct when it comes to picking someone to work on your website. If especially if there's a lot of people I know who've worked with people who've been recommended to them, and they haven't liked the work because they just went, oh, well, they recommended them, so that should be all right. And it's not necessarily the case. Don't be scared to shop around and have a look. Prices vary wildly, skills vary even more wildly.
Right.
So it's just a case of having a look, really using your own knowledge and intuition, because you are signing over a lot of information. You're signing over a huge part of your business and marketing. You need to make sure that it's done right, and that they're actually going to be able to support you in the long term as well.
Wow, thank you very much, Gemma. Do you have a cheat sheet or something like that for that? Because I think it would be so valuable.
Do you know
don't
what?
know where to start.
I can probably rustle something up for you, just to give you a bit of a lowdown about how to actually hire people and how to make sure that you're creating something that is for an audience.
Wow, that would be amazing. And also, we can find you as well, Gemma. You've got an amazing blog. I'd like people to go and have a look at it. Where can we find you, Gemma?
My website is at gemmaregalado.com. That's Gemma with a G. Regalado is REGALADO.com.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Gemma. It was a real pleasure. You shared amazing, valuable stuff. Especially, I've been in that situation, and I know how hard it is for people with the whole website. And where sometimes it is technology that really gets us stuck. But we need to get through this, get the help that we need if needed, and get that sorted.
Absolutely.
Right. So, thank you to the audience. And I'm sure we're going to have a chat soon. I know you've got a wealth of some other topics that you can teach us. And, we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for listening in. Bye-bye.
Bye.